Welcome back. Today, we are talking about daydreaming and whether or not there are benefits to it. Okay, well, daydreaming. Are there benefits to it? The short answer is yes. I have really great news about daydreaming. I actually recommend daydreaming, and there's lots of great research to show why. But first, let's talk about what daydreaming is. Daydreaming, just like it sounds, is like little dreams you're having during the day with your eyes open. Daydreaming is totally natural, and it's actually like miniature little moments of sleep, where your brain takes a moment to actually absorb what it is that it needs to think about. It goes into a space where it's fully unfocused, just like when you're dreaming at night. And it allows you not just to be more creative, but the key benefit, which is to listen to your subconscious. What are the benefits of daydreaming? So many. Let's start with this. The benefits of daydreaming are a lot like the benefits of night dreaming. The question is, what are the benefits of night dreaming? Well, night dreaming is really important for allowing your brain to actually learn. I sometimes talk to teachers groups and they don't love to hear this, but in actual fact, most learning happens not in the classroom, but in the bedroom. While you are sleeping, your brain is rewiring itself. It's effectively taking everything that happened to it during the day and assimilating it into knowledge networks that are forming your learning and wisdom in your night. And so what's happening is as you're dreaming, when you're asleep, your learning and knowledge networks, they come alive. Well, when you're daydreaming, something very similar is happening. So that is the first benefit of daydreaming, is that actually your daydreaming is helping you do a little bit of learning. It's taking what just happened to you and it's assimilating it into neural networks. It's small, it's short, but it's basically your brain's way of saying, hey, I've got a lot of information in here that I'd like to consolidate into neural networks. There's another benefit to daydreaming, and this is one of my favorites when what we talk about is unfocusing in order to focus. Daydreaming actually helps you unfocus, float off in the ether, so that when you get back to the work that you were doing, you're actually that much more focused. You actually have much more clarity in terms of your thoughts. So daydreaming helps you learn. It also helps you focus. There's a third thing that it helps with. Daydreaming helps you be more creative. People will often come to me and say, why is it that when I sat at my desk all day, or I was really trying to put together this pitch deck, or I was trying to find the solution to a problem, I couldn't figure it out all day long. The more I thought about it, the less capable I was. But then I was driving home, I was in my car, in the middle of the night I woke up and I had the solution, I had the idea. It was like this Eureka moment. That is what daydreaming is for. Daydreaming helps you with those Eureka moments. It increases your creativity and what we call breakthrough moments, where all of a sudden your subconscious comes up with the answer and is able to produce it for you. Take, for example, what Google found. Google has a policy where what they allow is that 20% of an employee's day is what they call innovation time off. It's when the employee can work on anything the employee wants to work on. It's still IP for Google, but the employee gets to decide what they want to do. This is when those employees will often play ping pong, go for a walk, go for a run, or daydream. What's interesting is Google found that the majority of their successfully commercialized innovations actually came from employees' 20% time off, not the other 80%. What brain scientists found is that that 20% time off was actually when their brain came alive. What we can show is that when you daydream, when you let your brain unfocus, your brain doesn't do what we think it's doing, which is intuitive, which is to say that your brain really just shuts down and takes a break. In fact, what it's doing is it's coming alive. It's starting to integrate all of its knowledge and learning networks, and this is when you can have real creative breakthroughs. This is the real benefit of daydreaming. Daydreaming lets you not only be more creative, it lets you really consolidate your learning and be more productive ultimately. So how do we make best use of our daydreams? First, I want you to have them. I don't want you to berate yourself for daydreaming. Sometimes it feels like you were in la la land for way too long. In fact, your brain was doing very necessary work. So, first way to make sure that you're making best use of your daydreams is to have them. Don't berate yourself and don't underestimate them. Daydreams are one of the best ways to listen to your subconscious, which is always operational and always working for you. Another way to make use of your daydreams is to make sure that you always have a pen and paper handy whenever you know you're likely to just be daydreaming, to just letting your mind wander, so that when you finally come to and you have that solution, that creative breakthrough, that innovative idea, you have somewhere that you can actually write it down. As you know, daydreams can be a little unpredictable. It's hard to know what you're going to daydream about. What I suggest you do is put together a little journal of things you daydreamed about over the course of a month. And at the end of that month, go back and look at the patterns of your daydreams. What you might find and what research shows is that you might often really start to get a feel for the patterns, the things that your subconscious brain is trying to manifest for you, the things that your subconscious brain is trying to tell you. And so put together a little daydreaming journal, and I think what you might find is that you're that much more innovative and creative. So this week, what I want you to do, I want you to daydream even more than you usually do. Put together a little journal and tell us in the comments below, what did you daydream about and what do you think it's telling you about how you can be more creative in your life?